headphones. What did I do with my, they're right here. Woo, woo. Okay, because I know you can hear me better with my headphones, so. Welcome to Me First Mornings and happy St. Patrick's Day. I am wearing green in honor of St. Patty, not because I'm Irish, but because any reason to celebrate is a good reason. But also my name is Patricia, so I kind of take it as my namesake day. Today is St. Patrick's Day. I don't say Patty because I don't identify with Patty myself when I'm referring to me, but I do say St. Patty's Day when it comes to the holiday. So hooray for all of you who are celebrating many, many blessings. Please be safe, have fun. As I used to hear when I worked at Driftwood, have safe fun, right? So be taken all of the joy of this day and this celebration, and be mindful of how you are celebrating for yourself. Make sure you take care of your temple and your body. And so welcome everyone. I'm super excited to be here today. Let's begin. I'm feeling a little, I won't say out of sorts, but it was kind of a busy morning. And so I'm lighting my candle to set the intention for the time and the space. And I have so many exciting announcements for you, but let's just I really want to start with taking a deep breath today. I just want to get into it. But first, I suppose I should introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Patricia Wolfson, and I am here on Me First Mornings, but I'm also a host of Soul Seekers TV. I'm an intuitive coach, and I'm an energy healer, and I help people release old patterns through coaching and energy work, and together we create new, aligned steps towards personal and professional success. And that sounds super fancy, but it is deep, impactful, and rewarding work, which I really like. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, please do at Patricia Wolfson. You can also find me on Instagram through Soul Seekers TV, and that's just at Soul Seekers TV. On Facebook, you're already watching me, so thank you for that. But you can also find me through Jumpstart for Change on Facebook, Soul Seekers TV, and Goddess Gatherings, which we will talk about all of those amazing things and all the events that I have coming up very soon. So let's take a deep breath together, because that would be a great way to start the day. Ready, and hold. And release. Let's do 2 more of those deep breaths, keeping in mind that you are trying to increase your capacity for breath and for accepting all of the beauty and goodness available to us. So let's just allow all the goodness of the universe to permeate our, human part, our human body, and then release all the things that no longer serve us. Oh, my candle went out. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that I'm running out of wax. That's what that means. Saint Germain, what are you trying to tell me today? Guys, this is so sad. My candle. This is probably not helping, and it's not going to keep it burning because I think the wax is done. Okay, I'll just have to live with that today. All right, 1 more deep breath. Let's go. And the final deep breath for this morning, well, not the final deep breath that we'll take together, but not the final breath for today. I'm sure you will have many, many breaths, and hopefully some of them will be deep, because that would be helpful for you. Ready? And okay, feeling calm. I would like to anchor again this morning because I'm definitely feeling a little out of sorts, as I mentioned. Beautiful. All right. I like to put it in my hair because, but not too much because it'll get oily. And I have my beverage, this morning's coffee mug, brought to you by Sarcastic Coach. I love you all. Okay, so let's get down to business. What is today's business about? Let's pull a card and find out what the energy is saying. Oh, wait, I didn't say my prayer. I told you guys I'm out of sorts this morning. It's one of those days. Let's say our prayer together, okay? I think that I can use it. The energy feels really, really heavy. I don't know if it's just me, but I've been super emotional the last few days. And it is not that time of the month for me. That is, wait, is it? No. It's coming next week. So too early for me to be emotional for that. At least that's how I function. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. But if it has been an emotional week for you, then I am here to hold space for that. And let us set a beautiful intention to release those things that we don't want or need in our life, and to call in the things that we do need, okay? Divine Mother, Infinite Father, excuse me, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all other beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that do not serve me. I ask that Centrum and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Fantastic. All right, now we can pull a card. This is the fun stuff. Not that praying isn't fun. It is definitely has its place. If you're watching the replay, please let me know and say hi. Hold on a second. Boop, boop, boop. Make sure that my phone is off so it doesn't ring in the middle of our session here together. I will be pulling a card from the Call It Baron Reed, the Enchanted Map Oracle deck. We have been talking about GPS on the Me First Mornings. Well, GPS was kind of last week. This week we're talking about the acronym of Me First, and today's focus is on focus, right? So Me First Mornings is an acronym, MEFIRST. The M is for momentum, the E is for energy, the F is for focus, which, as I said, we're doing today. The I is for inner work, the R is for relationships, the S is for showing up or stepping it up, and the T is for trust. And I will be taking you through each one of these steps in the Me First Mornings to just kind of let you know. And it is a guidebook. It is a guide that I use, the Me First formula. Oh, I guess it's a formula that I use. It is a formula that I use when I am doing the inner work, whether it's to achieve a certain goal or like an actual goal or an emotional or mental goal. You know, if I'm trying to release limiting beliefs, I use the Me First formula instinctively with everything. I start thinking about all these steps. And so you don't have to think about all of them. Sometimes only, you know, a couple of the letters will apply to you in the situation that you're talking about. But I find it important to at least know that you can address all of these parts. You know, the Me First formula includes, you know, sort of all of these moving parts that work together in achieving our ideal and highest vibration. And the first part of the Me First formula is the GPS work that we did last week. And I do have a free workbook for you to do your own GPS work, right? So this is to figure out your own GPS word, phrase, feeling, the thing that anchors you in and begins, you know, so that you can create your day, your life in your way. That's the whole point of this. And you can access the workbook for free, as I said, no charge, by going to bit.ly/Me First Masterclass. Now, the reason that it says Me First Masterclass is because I do have a masterclass coming up, and that is the workbook that I use for that masterclass. You are not obligated to take the masterclass, but if you would like to, we are doing it next Wednesday between 7 and 9, March 24th, and I have the link to both the workbook and the masterclass in the description here of the video. So let's see, I also have a full moon circle coming up next Friday through Goddess Gatherings and one of my besties, Marissa Wagenberg. So we have that coming up next week as well. Busy, busy week for me here. All right, what does the card say? Let's see. Yeah, they're ready to stop. All right, making a choice. This is a perfect card for today being the focus, okay? And it's going to lead perfectly into what we're going to talk about today. So number 30, it's my cousin Raquel's 30th birthday today. So this card, maybe this card is for you, Raquel. I'm going to tag you so that you know that this is for you. Okay, hold on. You're not showing up. Why are you not showing up on my thing? All right, I'll have to tag you later, Raquel. Happy birthday. I hope you have a lovely day. Okay, so make a choice. And maybe that's kind of like, you know, for your 30th birthday or those big milestone birthdays, those are the times that we start to reflect on our lives and, you know, and start saying like, where do I want to go from here? You might start reflecting on the past. And this is applicable for everyone, not just for anybody celebrating a milestone birthday. But if you think about those times in our lives where we do celebrate milestone birthdays or we get to a certain point, or as I talked about yesterday, a big transformational event in your life, like, you know, you just became a mother, you just got married. I'm speaking obviously from a woman's perspective, from my perspective, not just a woman's perspective, but there may be many, many big events in your life, you know, when you make a really big decision or when you get your first job, or when you know, start university. There's so many things that are big. And very often we are faced with making a choice. And we've gotten this making a choice card. But in this case, I really believe that this is a choice of focus, right? It's not just a choice of which door we're going to go into, but that is the case too, because we have the choice to go in the direction that we want to go or stay stuck in the past, right? And staying stuck in the past keeps us in old vibrations. It keeps us in old limiting beliefs. It keeps us in our old patterns. If we continue to choose to make choices the same way that we've always made choices, and we don't make a different choice, and we don't shift anything in our perspective and how we look at things, then we will consistently stay in the same vibration. But if you're looking to evolve, if you're looking for things to change, if you're looking for maybe to go and eat, it could be in a different direction, or maybe it's going in the same direction, but maybe you want to go a little faster, right? Like you feel like you're going in the direction that you want to go in, right? That's momentum, right? So you've got the momentum, right? You've protected your energy, right? This is the E from Me First. Like, you've set the boundaries of who comes in and who, you know, who's allowed into your energetic field, what you spend your energy on. That was yesterday's talk. But today we're doing focus, which is you get to decide what you're focusing on. When you're by yourself, it's not like you need outside people to give you your limiting beliefs, even though they may have been implanted or taught or embodied and integrated into your life because of social constructs, because of societal structure, because of parents, because of teachers, because of family, because of generational wounds, whatever the case may be. You may have those already, but when you're all on your own, because of all that's happened, because of everything that's been kind of planted in you, all the different seeds that have been planted in you, you have to decide which seed you're going to focus on, right? Which one is going to get the water? Which one is going to get the sunlight? Which one you're going to put in the best spot in the window, right? Which one are you focusing your energy on? You need to make a decision about where your focus goes. And, you know, this is, you know, I had a conversation this morning about anxiety. And anxiety will come into play no matter what's going on in your life, because, I mean, if you're the type of person that has anxiety, no matter what's going on, it will come into play. But especially as you start to push your limits, right? As you start to get to the edge of where you're comfortable in life, you will start to get doubts and fears and anxieties, and that protective nature will come out and protect you and be like, are you sure you want to go this way? We've been down this road before and everything always fell apart. What are you thinking, right? But you get to say, no, that was then, and that was necessary for my growth and evolution. This is now. I have new tools. I'm a new person. We literally, like, all of our cells in our body renew, not all at the same time, but like over the span of 7 years. So you literally have like all new cells in your body every 7 years. But, so the changes that you make, the things that you tell yourself, how you speak to yourself, your inner dialogue, or any shifts in perspective, that can be integrated into what currently exists in your body, and the things that you release can also be released when your cells renew, and you can be renewing with the new well-informed cells that know that anything is possible, and that growth is imminent, and fortune can befall you. Like, you are worthy enough and amazing enough to have things work out for you. But that takes practice. We have to train ourselves to focus on the good parts. Now, I'm not saying negate the bad parts, and I talk a lot about spiritual bypassing, not just here, but on Soul Seekers TV. And I am not a proponent of spiritual bypassing. If you have sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, whatever it is, you need to allow it to be. You need to sit with it. But what you cannot do is allow it to remain for so long. It's like having a guest at your house, right? Like, what do they say? Like, there's a time where there's a time when your guests at your house, after a certain while, like, it's time to go, where you feel like, I've been here long enough, it's time to go. And the same thing with any sort of fears that are preventing you from your growth, whether it be fears, anxieties, anything. Allow the feelings to happen, but don't allow them to embed, right? And to like get so comfortable that they're like, I'm here, no problem. I mean, you allow them to stay because they're not going to go anywhere. Pushing them out, they're not going to go anywhere. But you say, okay, you can sit here. You're allowed to be here, but I'm going to go about day, and I don't need to entertain you anymore, right? Like, when you have somebody come over to your house, and my parents used to host, and still host people all the time, and I was, taught to be a very good host. And guests come over, and what would you like to drink? What would you like to eat? And you're all very attentive, right? But if the guests are there for like 2 weeks, you need to get back to work. Like, you need to just get back to your own life. You can't always be serving, right? The people in your home, let's just say. And so it's the same thing with these feelings that don't feel good, right? Like, you have to allow them to be there and accept that they're there and say, okay, I see you're sad. I'm so sorry. This does feel sad. This does feel frustrating. I do feel scared. Okay, but I need to go about my life. I still need to get things done. And so I'm not going to ignore you, but I'm going to choose to go on even though you're sad. It's okay. We're still going to go to the party, right? We're still going to live our life, even though we might be, as much as we can. Now, I'm not talking about people who are going through deep depression or, traumatic events, that you need to get professional help, or you need to sit with it as long as you need to sit with it. So I am not a proponent of rushing anything. I'm going to be the first person to tell you, if you have resistance, listen to the resistance and figure out a way to ease the resistance, right? Like that block that we feel, that resistance that we feel, we have to learn how do you ease up on it? How do you make it feel better? How do you make it feel safe, right? But that whole thing is an entirely different discussion. And if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about it, or remind me and I'll bring it up here. But today is about focus. And so if you want to go, if you want to move forward, if you want to change where you're at, if you don't like how you're feeling, if you don't like the way things look in your life, or as I said, if you like it but you want more of this, then you have to focus on what's coming, not on what is. Don't focus on what you have, right? I mean, you can appreciate what you have, but focus on, okay, I want to move forward. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel successful as a business owner. And you begin to make choices. And I've talked about this a lot. You begin to make choices and you begin to shift your perspective as though you were already a successful business owner, as if you were already fully healed, as if you were already in the body that you always imagined you would be. Whatever it is that your healing journey is, imagine what would be the choices that you would make if you already knew success was coming. Like if somebody said to you, in 5 years, your business is going to explode. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to do amazing, right? That would take some of the pressure off, because so much of our time is spent thinking like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working? What's wrong with me? Oh, I guess I'm just not good at this. I guess I just haven't taken enough courses. I guess I haven't, shown up enough. Whatever the stories that we tell ourselves, the truth is that we have the ability to stop ourselves just by thinking that we're not going to make it there, right? It's like running a marathon and you're like stopping in the middle and going like, I don't know if I'm going to get all the way there, so I'm just going to stop right here. It's like, no, keep going. Like, yes, you may collapse once you get to the end, but don't stop until like you have no choice but to stop. And, every time I talk about this stuff, I think about, of course, there's burnout. Of course, there's all these things that will make you stop. And those are each individual and different situations than what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about right now is, where is your focus? Or is your focus on moving forward? Is your focus on your imminent success? Or is your focus on your imminent failure? Are you always anticipating things falling apart? Are you always anticipating being shown that you're not good enough? Are you always anticipating sort of getting your butt handed to you by someone and saying like, these are all the reasons that you can't do what you want to do, right? Where are you focusing? Because your focus, and I stop because I have this conversation with so many people. I have it with my children and I have it with myself in the morning. Not always in the morning. What I meant to say was I have it with myself in the mirror sometimes, where I like want to shake myself, because the higher self part of me, right? The coach part of me, the person who shows up here for you guys, which is really me, right? But that part of me knows that I can accomplish anything, knows that anybody in my circle, and not just in my circle and beyond, I believe that you have the power to create the life that you want, even if you've been handed a crappy deck of cards. I really do believe it. And look at it in terms of cards. There are some card players who have a crappy hand, like in poker, right? And if you can just, get your little face on, get your poker face on and play the game correctly, you could still win. You could still win. You can bluff your way through it. Now, I'm not saying bluff your way through life, but it's not so much a bluff as it is confidence, right? A bluff in cards is really just, you sitting there, not telling people what's going on with you inside, not showing your cards, right? Not showing what's going on, but believing that you can win no matter what you're holding, right? We need to live our lives like successful poker players, that no matter what is in their hand, sure, a good hand helps, right? If you have a full house, if you're into cards, if you have, like a royal flush, you have a really good chance of winning. But even if you don't, if you play your cards right, that's why it's a saying, right? If you play your cards right, you can still succeed. And there are so many people and so many examples of people who had a crappy deck of cards handed to them, and sometimes they get a good deck taken from them and they get handed another deck and they're like, nope, we're changing decks on you. And they're like, what? And they still somehow win the game, win their game. And it's about their game, right? There's all sorts of little poker games going on all over. I don't know why poker is a thing today. If you're watching this and like you play poker, this message is for you, because I have never used poker as an analogy in my life before. So clearly this message is for somebody, because when the analogies come that strong and they're different from what I normally say, it's usually meant for someone in particular. So if this is for you, just write like me, I play poker. This is for me. But I'm sure you can understand, because even if you didn't play poker, you played other games, right? And in any game, even if you look at, just sports in general, right? It's not always the person with the most talent. My husband and I talk about this all the time. You can have a kid who's like extremely talented, has all the stuff, right? But they get to college, they get distracted, they start drinking or whatever, right? Whatever happens, and their focus shifts. And as soon as their focus shifts away from their passion, then it doesn't matter how good their gifts and talents were given by God, right? Their God-given gifts and talents. It doesn't matter how good they are, because their focus is somewhere else. They are not channeling their gifts into what they want to get what they want. And it's no different for us. You have the gifts and talents that were given to you by source, by God, by however you want to view the infinite intelligence, right? You have these gifts and talents. And if your focus is on all the things you suck at, you're not honing in on your skills, right? You're not honing in on what has been given to you. And it doesn't matter if it looks like anybody else's gifts or talents, if you look like anybody else, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, it doesn't matter, because you were given these gifts and talents to impact the world in whatever way you see fit, right? So stop listening to all the garbage going on around you and focus on what lights you up, because what lights you up is the thing you're supposed to be doing, right? You have a kid who's obsessed with soccer. Like my son is obsessed with soccer, and all of his heart and soul goes into soccer, right? Now, I know, because he's a good athlete, that I could probably get him to play baseball, and that's amazing, and he'll probably do really well, right? But his heart's not going to be in it. So no matter how good he is and how much he works, even though he could probably succeed in baseball, why would I do that to him? Why would I take away the thing that brings him the most life, the thing that brings him the most joy, the thing that makes him whole? Why would I have him focus on a different sport? Or for that matter, he also happens to be good at math, why would I just focus on his academics? Obviously we like a balance, and I think that's important for people in general. We all should know a little bit about everything that interests us, because all of that is going to contribute to us as a whole. But you need to focus on what lights you up, because if it lights you up, it is the light that is meant to be shared to the world. It is the light that is going to impact our planet. It is the light that is going to help humanity evolve into the next stage that we need to be in collectively. So don't deny your gifts and talents. Don't deny the things that bring you pleasure. Just focus on the things that bring you that joy, that make you feel alive. And even if you don't think it's a big deal, or that it should matter, because maybe you don't see how that can be your legacy, or how that is how you can impact the world, forget about that part and just focus on how you can do that, use it, and embody it in the moment to just bring yourself the joy and happiness and bliss and powerful feeling that you deserve. Okay, that's today's sermon. I hope that you got something out of that. And please, if you are watching the replay, please put #replay. If the poker analogy was meant specifically for you, then please also let me know in the comments and say, hey, I think that was for me, or reach out to me privately and send me a message. I will be back tomorrow for another Me First morning, and I hope to see you here too. Love you all. Bye.